Okay, hi everyone, it's Cheryl with Helmar, and today we're going to be making the mini toilet paper album that I have here. And let me pull the chat. Sorry you guys, I can't see the chat. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show is, and let me move this camera down, hopefully I don't shut it off. Okay, so let's see if I can get this back. Hold on one second. So what I do, and hopefully you'll be able to see, is I just take the toilet paper roll, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this in here, but don't mind my machine. And I just put it on here and flatten it down, and let's see if I can run it through. Whoops. I'm not going to be able to do it that way. Let's just run it through. Okay, if I can get this done. I already have some done, but this is an easy way. If I can get it through, my plates are really bad. Sorry, you guys. Okay, there it goes. So you just run it through, and then it's flat. So that way you're not trying to... Sorry about the boob shot. Gosh, don't make me laugh. I won't stop. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. Okay, no more boob shots. Let me move the camera down a little more. Oh, shoot. Okay, that's better. Anyways, I run these through because I don't want to sit there and try to get them creased. So I already have some done. Let me grab, let's see, this is step one. So this step, what I'm going to show is I'm going to ink these, but you could also paint them and with just paint. And so that's what I did with these. I'll use this one to do a mini Halloween. But today what we're going to be using to put this together is Helmar's Premium Craft glue. This one right here. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can use paint, and that way when we put the paper on, you're just going to see. I mean, I even did the insides, you know, like just on the one side, because I close up the other end, and I'll show you that. But you're going to cover it anyways. So, the Premium Craft glue, I'm going to use that. And then I'm also going to use the 450 because it dries quick. And I'm going to put the embellishments on with this. Now, you could put the embellishments on with this, but because I'm going to want it to dry fast, I'm going to use the 450 too. So in step one, basically I'm just doing a four toilet paper album. You can do 6 or however many. And then what I do is I pick the paper I want, and I cut those pieces, which I already have here. I cut those at, but they're 4 inches by 2.5 inches. Now they may vary depending on, like, I have some that of the toilet paper rolls that are a little bigger, but I go ahead and cut 8 of these. And so, you know, for the inside, and then I'll go ahead and show you what I do. So let me just pick the front. Okay. So I want to use this design paper for the front. And I cut it smaller because when you like, that one's pretty big. Actually, see, this one's actually bigger than this one, so let me grab another one. Okay, so that's what I mean. So you might have to measure, because this one ended up being bigger than this one, and I like it to look kind of like that. I don't know if you can see. You're only going to see a little bit of the edges. You can do it however you want, though. And so let's see if I can bring that forward. Hold on one second. I just want to make sure. Okay. So what I do is just pick where I want my papers. And so this one I want here, you know, for the front. So I'm going to use that one. Wait a minute. Let's see. Oh, bye, Vanessa. Have fun. You just cut, oh wait, chipboard, fold, and glue. Since I always forget to, oh, save them. You know, I have a bag of them. So anyways, so what I do with, and I think I'm gonna lower this so you can see. Sorry, you guys. One more time. Okay. So I'm using the tip to apply this glue. You don't want to have too much glue because then it's going to come out all over the edges. So I kind of just move it around as I'm taking some out, as I'm, you know, and just kind of move it around. And then just go ahead. Now, you could use, if you have a roller or whatever, I'm using this is a wallpaper seam thing, so, and I don't hang wallpaper anymore, so I'm just going to go ahead and do like that, so it just gets it to stay. I do that usually on my scrapbook pages. Thank you. This paper is, I think, I have some right here. I think it's the girls' papery on that one. So that's the front. And then if I'm doing the back, I'm just going to show you one. I already have another one done. So all four. But so this is pretty much how I just put my glue on. And you don't need a whole bunch of it. And I love the Premium Craft glue because it does not buckle the paper or wrinkle the paper. And so when you're doing your scrapbooks or your cards, excuse me, it works really nice. And then you can just, there. Okay, so that's that one. So now what I'm going to do is I like to distress the edges, and so I just take a Tim Holtz. This is the antique linen, and so I'm just going to use that, and now I'm just distressing because it's going to change the look of this toilet paper roll, and then also distress your paper too. And I usually just do that really quick on all of them once I've got them all glued, and then flip it over and just do the same thing. Now I might need to move up. My camera's going to be a pill, I can tell. Okay. Either that or I'm not used to this one. This one's one that I plugged in, so it's not the one on my laptop. So that's pretty much, you can see, how I do that. And so I'm going to set these aside and pull out. Actually, I think that's step 2. Oh. Now I know what I forgot. Okay, so another thing that I do is on the one end, I want it closed. Now I've done albums where I've left it open, but I want to close this up. So you can use the 450. The 450 will hold quicker, but I'm going to use the Premium. And then what I do is I just put some glue, a nice amount. I don't know if you're even going to be able, there you go. You can see that. And then I'm just going to smash that. I hold it down for a moment. Now, usually what I do is I have the Big Shot machine up here, and I'll stick it under one of the little feet on the machine because it holds it down. Or you can take some kind of clip or something. You want to set that aside and let it dry, and then that way it'll stay. And again, you can use the 450 to keep that closed too. Okay, and so now that we have that, so now here they are right here, and I think I just, some of those don't look distressed, but I'll just do them really quick. So I have them all ready, and the ends all closed on them, and I'll just do them real quick. Sorry, you guys. I thought I had distressed them, but I guess I didn't. Okay, so on this one, now what I'm going to do is when I have them all inked up and ready to go, what I do is I put them in the order of what I think I'm going to want them to open. And so I know this is my front page. And I think what I did was, you guys, sorry, my son's friend's being silly. Okay, so this is going to be my first page, and then I think I want that one for my second page, this one. So now I have that, and then, let's see, actually, I think I had them the way okay, wait, that's my second page. I guess it really doesn't matter. That's my third, and I think that one's my fourth. So you just kind of get them in the order that you're going to want them to open. And so this is how I want them. And so now the next step is, let's see. So, sorry you guys. We're going to add fences. So what I'm using are some die cuts. I've chosen to use the picket fence, and this is a cottage cut die. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm going to make a pocket with one, and then I'm going to use one through the middle to create another type of a band. And so you can pick whatever you want. If you don't have fences, just pick anything. And I'm going to run ribbon through this. And all the ribbon that I'm using today is really reasonable ribbon. And this is a pink sateen that I'm going to use. And it's 5/8 of an inch. And so what I do, can you guys still hear me? Hopefully I didn't lose everybody. Uh-oh. I hope I didn't lose a connection. Hold on one second. Hear me. I'll pause for a minute because I'm not even sure. I can't, for some reason I've lost the chat. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Trudy. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to run some ribbon through this fence. Oops. And I'm just doing this on the first page because, and you, like I said, you can do pretty much anything you want. I was just hoping I didn't lose a connection because I'm wireless down here. And I'm thinking, oh no. Oh, hopefully you guys can see this. So I don't cut my ribbon. Again, I don't like to waste a lot of ribbon. So what I do is I just run it through. Oh, come on. Oh, I think I skipped one. Yeah, sorry. Thanks, Sandy. Okay, and we're almost done with that. Okay, since this is going to go on the first page, what I do is I bring it past a little bit, and let me grab my scissors, and I'm going to just snip that in. And I'm going to turn it over and then glue it, and I'm going to use, hopefully I can get some out of this one. I'm almost down. I'm going to use the 450 because I want this to set quick. And I think I did my fence backwards. Actually, no, I didn't. So when I just add a little bit right here, and then fold it over and hold it for a moment. Oh, I think my computer's telling me, hold on, I'm going to have to, I don't think I have anything else open. It's telling me I'm having poor performance. If I can even talk. Okay, and then snip this end and just add a little bit of the glue. So this is going to be the first page, and the fence is longer normally, but what I did was I cut it to the length of the toilet paper roll. So now what I want to do on this, now again, you can use the Premium Craft glue to glue this down if you have time and you like to set your things aside. I like, for this video, I'm going to use the 450, and I'm just using it along the edges or the ends of the fence and then along the bottom, and this is going to create the pocket for this first page, and then just glue it down. I like having pockets in the little minis. That way you can make, like I made a tag, and you can just put that in and then add a photo. You can either add a photo to the front or leave that and add your photo to the back, or vice versa. It doesn't matter, however, but I like to do like that. So now my first page has a pocket. And so now the next one is, when I flip it over, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to add some of this pleated sateen. And again, I'm making a band across, and just like this one, let me show you. So this is, whoops, there it is. This is the back side. So there's the band, and it's just going to hold because I've added a wood heart. And so it'll hold it in there, so it's not going to go anywhere. So this is the back side. And usually I don't make two of the same albums, but the one that's already done is going to a friend, and this one here I'm going to bring to my grandma when I go to California, and give it to her with photos of the kids. And so now what I do is just go ahead and figure out how long I want the ribbon. And so I want it like that, and I can trim off whatever after. I don't know why I'm shaking, sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I hope so. I asked her because my grandma is in a one of the nursing homes. It's really sad, and she wanted to go back to her home, and we kind of knew she wouldn't be able to. But she can't have hardly anything there, and I asked her, could you, if I made you a small album, good, I'm glad you can't see the shakes, would you be able to keep it there, or are you going to have to send it with someone? And she said she would keep it there. So I thought, okay, well then I'll make a small one so she can have photos of the family. So once you have this side, usually I try to let it dry because I'm going to tug on it a little bit because I don't want it too loose, but I don't want it real tight. And so I'm going to glue this end down. Well, so just add a little bit. And I'm just adding this is the 450 that I'm adding. Oh, I didn't even know you left. I'm glad you're back, hon. Did you get the baby settled? So then I just snip off whatever's over the edge, and I think I'm snipping the whole thing. Okay. Whoa. Okay, let's see if I can get that to stay. This is just creating a band. And you'll be able to put a little tag in there. Hopefully you can see. And so the tag just slides in. And this little wood heart, wherever it is, it's on this side, it holds it from falling through. Oh. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, usually what I'll do is get all the ribbon how I want it. And don't tell me I didn't pick. I thought I brought that ribbon over here. Hold on one second. Sorry, you guys. I need to... Did I drop it? Oh, I did. It's on the floor. So I'm using this pink ribbon, and I'm going to run this across right here. So I'm going to use the premium. Where is it? Here it is. And very little of this. And so just, I'm going to run it, hopefully you can see. I'm going to run just a little, because you don't want it to go through the ribbon, and hopefully I don't add too much. But you want to be able to hold the ribbon down. And I'll be able to tell if I put too much. Once you put the ribbon, come on, let's see if that's going to hold. And again, I don't cut any of my ribbon until I'm done, however, and I think that should hold, because I just don't like to use too much, because if you use a lot of glue, it's going to go through. Yeah, I guess it is shabby chic, huh? I didn't even think about that. So then I'm just going to cut this. And so now we have the band there. And you know what? I don't even think I grabbed feathers. Uh-oh. Oh, I might have some, though, right here. I do, I think. Oh, come on. Please. Let's see if I have some. Oh, I think they're cut already. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now that I have this part done, I'll move on to the next one. So on this next one, what I've decided to do, because we'll add the embellishments after. On this one, what I've decided to do is make, like in my album here. Thank you. Yeah, you can use your scraps, because this album's so small that you can actually use all your design paper scraps, and like on this flap, it's a piece of cardstock. So you can use your cardstock scraps to do this. And so that's going to be this page here. And the paper's a little different, but this one measures, I have it all written down. This one is 2 inches, or 2.5 by 4. And then I scored it at the 1/2 inch, or the 1/4 inch, sorry. 2.5, does that make sense? Let me measure it, because that does not make sense to me, but I might just... Actually, sorry, let's see. This one measures 4 by 2.5. Okay, it does measure 4 by 2.5. So you're going to score at 1/4 of an inch to get the little piece right here. And this piece is what I'm going to glue in this end to create that fold out flap. And that way you have room to put a photo here and a photo here and even a photo on the front. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue that. And I think for this one, since I want it to dry, actually I think I have my 3rd step. Let's see. Yep, 3rd step's ready. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I just messed up, you guys. I thought I had everything planned out so perfect. And I started decorating this one when I should be decorating step 3. That already has everything. Oh, well. So you just add your glue, and hopefully I've got that in there. And then I just kind of press it down. Okay. So there we have the flap now. And now the little piece of paper that goes on the flap is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. And so I'm just going to glue that on there. And I'm using the premium on this. So all the paper's getting premium. And oh, I got too much. I was trying to do steps to get this, so I didn't have, everything would be ready, but I guess I'm not used to planning steps so well. Thank you. Thanks, Jess. Thank you, Sandy. Okay, so now that I have that, again, distress, you can distress the edges, and just really, I just do it real quick. I mean, there we go. So that one's ready. I guess while I have this one here, I can add, because on here, what I did was I added the lace to the edge, or the end. And so I guess I'll do that because we'll set that one aside. And the same thing, I'll add the, I guess I'll use the premium on this one. I think I'm gonna, because I think I'll have enough time to let that set and dry. And then you can move it up. So, and then just cut. And if you need to go back and trim after, you can just trim it. And it's pretty simple. So I don't cut myself. Okay, so that page is ready. So now we'll flip. And so now we're on the next page. They really are quick to do. Okay, ribbon again. On this one, I think I ran the pink through, so it's the same thing. Now, if you don't, like I said, if you don't have a picket fence, pick some type of border or punch, or even some thick ribbon, or however. I don't know why my computer keeps telling me poor system performance. Huh. I usually don't have that happen, but oh well. Okay. And so I just go ahead and put these through. Okay. And then pull that. And then I'm going to do the little bit of the 450 on the back, and then fold this over and hold it for a moment. You know what? I think I do. And I might need to clean out the internet, you know, the cookies or whatever, how sometimes I thought I had it set to do it daily, and then just cut that a little bit past. Yeah, the cookies, I almost wonder. I kind of go between using this laptop, this one's down here, and another one, so, but this is my main one that I use. Okay, so let that set. And now I'm doing the same thing with this. I'm using it as a band. So the only thing, oops, let me click. Okay, so the only, and now I need to get the chat back up. Okay, there we go. The only places I'm going to glue are on the end, and I'm using 450 for that because I need it, I want it to dry real fast. And I'm just putting it in the middle. I think decorating them up is actually the funnest part. I like adding all the fun ribbons and you know, flowers and all that fun stuff. So now I'm going to use some moss green leaves, and this is a trim, and just run it across. This one, let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a dab of, let's use this one, on the leaves. This one could be a little tricky because I don't want to have glue all over, so I just try to add it to the back of the leaf. And I'll probably, it's a good thing I keep a wet towel. Let's see if I can get that one. Ah, come on. Okay. And so it doesn't stick to the back. Let me wipe my hands really quick. you can take, whoops, you can take a piece of paper or something just to slide it in there, just to be sure that it doesn't stick, because we don't want the leaves to, we don't want them to stick so you can't run anything through here. And then I'll just go ahead and cut this out there so I can move all this out of the way. And so let's go ahead and, oh, wrong one. Oh, and I forgot to flip that up. Ah! Yeah, I noticed with the 450, I usually will throw it back in that glass so it stays upside down. I've used so much of this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that one's glued down. There we go, we can run that through. And then just a little bit on the back. Okay. Okay, so that one's done and ready. Now on this next page, what I've decided to do is create a little pocket. And so I just cut a piece of paper 3 3/4 of an inch by 2.5 inches, and I've actually scored it 1/2 inch all the way around. I used the score pal to do that. And so this is another, it's real quick to do, so you just use your score pal and then fold and crease, do the, oh my gosh, I can't even think what it's called. Oh my goodness. How can I forget? I do this all the time. Like, no, I forgot what it's called. Just doing the creases. Jeez. And now I'm going to cut this little piece off in the corner. I don't know why I can't think of what it's called. You'd think I haven't done that. So it creates a little pocket right here. And so I'm going to move this now. These are, pockets are score. Thank you. Thank you, Trudy. I guess, I don't know, I must be a little nervous and just not, I'm trying not to think about it. But anyway, so just cutting a square and then scoring around the 3 sides and then just folding. And now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue to hold these pieces down. Whoops. And you'll probably have to hold it for just a moment. Actually, I think I already have the one done. Yep, I did. See, I kind of already had it prepped, but anyway, so you'll go ahead and glue those first, because that creates your pocket. I'm just making sure there's nothing, no glue. Okay, and then just figure out where you want it on your page, and then add some glue to the side and the bottom. I think I'm going to have like 4 of these albums by the time I'm done. And then I just try to hold it down for a few moments, and that way it'll be, you know, stay glued. And now you have a pocket for another tag, and that's this page here, this one right here. And then, okay, and now I'm going to add some lace to the top of that. And I'm using the Premium Craft glue just along the top. I don't know if you can see that. It's not too much, but it's enough to hold down your lace or your ribbon. I find that if you don't use a lot, it doesn't come through. Don't worry, you can send me one. Aw. Yeah, I probably will have enough of them to send. Sheesh. I usually like making them all different. You know, not having the same thing. But when you're doing a class, you kind of have to. I guess I could have done different, but anyway, so there's the lace on the pocket. And then what I did was I ran, again, some more of the green moss. And this is also really reasonable ribbons. Bonnie has so many colors in this. I think I have quite a few of them. I have like blue, pink, white, gold, silver. I don't even know what other colors. I just have a ton of it. I love this stuff though. It's fun to use in the albums. Need that lace. I love that lace. I believe that's the Noel lace. And that's from Really Reasonable Ribbon too. Let's see if I can get this stuck on here. Without gluing. I have glue all over, I could tell already. Ah! Yeah, I buy all my ribbon now from Really Reasonable Ribbon. I'm trying to get this glue off my hands with the water. Okay. And I love the green moss leaves. I actually bought a spool of it, so I have a spool. Once I'm done with, this is my last 2-yard pack. And so once I'm done with this, I'll open the spool. I won't open it until, and just snip that. So now we have this one ready to embellish. And that's going to be the easiest and the quickest part, is just adding all that at the end. This page here, I wanted to leave it blank, kind of like I did here, for a photo. So on this one, I added the flowers, a leaf, and then these are, I don't know, my mom gave this to me. She does vintage dolls, and it's some kind of feathery thing. I can't ever pick the option. Trudy, yeah, I know. You can't go on that site anymore because you can't ever pick. You know what you do? You do like I do. Every month I add stuff to my wish list, and then when it's time to put an order in, I just pull the stuff from my wish list and put it in my cart. So it's always there. I always have it. Let me grab really quick. Sorry, you guys. I didn't grab these. Hopefully I have more of them. Uh-oh. Shoot, do I not? Oh, no. Oh, wait. I think I do. Ah! They're in a bag, I think. Yep. So, for the corner here, where are we? Right here. Okay. So, for that corner, I just want to add a little spray. This is what it looks like. It's kind of, it's real long. And I just snip a little piece off. And that's going to go right there. And on this page, what I want to do is add my, I think I'm going to use on that one, I wanted to use one of my, let's see what the next page is. Yeah. I was thinking of using that one, but maybe, should I use this one instead, you guys? Because the blue, there's no blue on that page, but I don't know. What do you think? The feather things, my mom sells this stuff for doll hats. Or they use them on the hats and whatever. And so she gave me snippets of it. So like this here is probably, but it'll last forever. I mean, for what we do, this is like 9.25 inches long, and really you're only snipping what, like 1/4 inch off. You've never seen that before? They're feathers. I'll ask my mom what exactly they're called, but I have them in just a few. I think she gave me, I think I have white, yeah, because then I have, this is some other stuff she gave me, and this is super soft, if you could feel it. Oh my gosh. It's like a boa, but it's so soft to touch, I don't even know what this is called, so I'll ask and let you know. Now I got feathers flying everywhere. So what do you guys think? Should I do the pink or do the blue? Like ostrich feathers, maybe, huh? You like both? Okay, well, I guess what I'll do is just use the blue one and put the pink one out. These are the ones we made in the last class, the feathers, or not the feathers, the flowers. Oh boy. So I'm using the premium. Oh. And then just hold that down and wipe my hand. I'm sorry. Okay. And then for the flower, I'm just going to go ahead and do the 450. And I'm just putting some on the back. And this is, yeah, this is the flower we did. And then just hold that down. And this page will be done. That's on this page. And then we're on our last page already. And then just going back and gluing everything. So for this page here, I'm doing a band. I'm going to move all this stuff really quick. So I'm going to make a band using this, ouch, double ruffled edge sateen, and I'm using, oh, my ring just cut me. I'm using the 1.5 inch, and I don't know if this is a 1/2 inch. Oh, uh-oh, is that like 5/8 of an inch? I'm not even sure. Trudy, do you know? It's this one here. Anyways, it's gonna go down the middle of the wider one. Okay, hen. So on this one here, we'll go ahead and do the white one first. Actually, you know what? No. Well, let me think about that. Do I want to do... I'm going to cut this. 5/8. Okay, that's what I kind of thought, but I wasn't sure. Thank you. Okay, so I'll go ahead and measure this, because I think what I'm going to do is glue it off and then add it on. So to make this little pocket, because this last page here is actually going to be a pocket, and I'll show you what it looks like. So that's what it's going to look like, and it's going to hold, it can hold a couple tags, photos. So let's go ahead and do the premium on here. I'm just going to run, sorry, I was kind of listening to my answering machine. Someone's calling. I think it's my mother-in-law. Nobody can answer the phone. Okay. And just glue that and let that set. So that was the premium. I used the premium on this one. And like I said, if you use very little, you're not going to get any bleeding through your ribbon. Now, I don't know if you used a lot, if it would even bleed through, because I haven't done that yet. But I try to just use you know, enough so it doesn't go all over. And then what I'm going to do is run, this one is, it's a white sateen with a gold edge, and it comes, I guess you can get it in a spool too. I bought the spool of it, and I'm using that down the center of that one. So I'm going to do the same thing, just add a little bit of glue, because I don't want to have it all over the place. And then, now you could always use your, the end of your tweezers to kind of help hold that down. And then just cut your ends. And that one's ready. Okay. So now on this one, I'm going to be gluing it to the bottom. And I'm letting the ruffle right here just hang over a tad bit of the edge. And then I'm going to just add the glue on here. And I probably should use the 450, but I think I'm going to use this one, even though I know it takes just a little bit longer to dry. And so I just kind of eye where I think it's going to go. And then what you're going to want to do is kind of just press that down. Hopefully you could see that. And when you have it hanging over, I just snip the ends like that. Whoops. My scissors have glue on them. Okay. Okay, so that one. And I don't know, did I make little bows? I started to make a bow, so I made the one side, and then I'll go ahead and just share with you how I do my bows. I use a wire. Whoops, if you could see. This is just, I don't even know what gauge it is, but it's wire I bought at Michael's. And then with my ribbon, I just do my loops, and I figure out how big I want the loops to be, and then just fold over, fold under, and then come back up the top, and there you have your bow. And then I use the wire in the middle, and I just scrunch it down, and I pull the four of the loops up, and then just start twisting, and that's it. And then I use wire cutters just to snip off those, and then just cut that off, because I'm going to add buttons, so it won't matter. And so those will go, those are going to go on the sides right there, and I'm going to use the 450 on that to hold the bows down, because I'm not going to be able to set this aside. Whoops. So I want them to stay on quick. So I just put the glue on the back of where the wire is. You can fluff those up. So push them down. I love the 450. It is. You know what? When I'm doing cards or these little mini albums or even my layouts, for all my embellishments and my bows and stuff, and even making the flowers, I use the 450 unless it's a scrap page. Yeah, like on the scrapbook pages, I'll do, because I'm setting it aside and it's laying flat and I know I'm not going to touch it, I'll use the premium. Yeah, I love this stuff. So anyways, the bows now are on. And now we're going to go to the back side. Oops. Hopefully that didn't stick to me. I think I have glue sticking on my finger. Okay. So flip that over. So now the next step on this is using, where did it go? I wanted a little envelope, and this is this is a Cottage Cut lace envelope that I used. This is what it looks like. It's a die cut. Well, and I didn't clean it out, but I used it on, I think, my 4th of July page. But I cut this out, and I'm gonna glue, just add a little bit of glue to glue. I think, oh, that's the bottom. Sorry, you guys. Let's get that. I forget to put the 450 back upside down sometimes when I do that. So I'm just gluing the sides of this. And this envelope, I didn't make I didn't make the tag, because you can just fold a mini card and put 4 pictures or 2 pictures and then slide it inside of here. Now, I didn't even do that. I didn't like prep that or anything. Yeah, I think I love this, the envelope, I like putting it on the scrapbook pages. I did it, I don't know if you saw my 4th of July page that I did. I put it on there, but I love it on the mini albums. I think I've used it on quite a few of them. I know I used, it's the Cottage Cut, the Scrapping Cottage. That's what it looks like. I used it on the Teapot mini. Yeah, Cottage Cuts. I'm on eBay hunting for one now. You could have just went to my blog and probably clicked on the link, or I could have put it for you. Anyway, so that's dry. I like to just, I don't want it to stick, so I hold the sides up. So now that's ready. So what I did was I distressed this, and I think I'm going to use the tea dye on this one. How funny. Yeah, okay, so, and, oh yeah, that one's the dark one, the darker one. Anyways, I think I'll just do a little bit of this one. I didn't realize that was so dark. Oh, that might be darker than what I wanted. Oh, shoot. Oh, well. Now I'm using antique, if I can even pronounce it, linen. And you know what? I don't even like that. Darn it. And I can't take this one off of this one. Shoot. Anyways, I glued. This is the one I had ready to go. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I might have another one cut out. Darn it. Oh, that's so dark. I didn't mean to do that. Looks okay. Okay, I'm just going to use it. The heck with it. Okay, so I'm just trying to ink it up, and yeah, that is dark. Oh well. I think I grabbed the wrong one. That was the tea dye. Gosh, yeah, I did. Oh well. Okay, so that one, oh well. So this one, I want it to go on the back page, and that way you can put a little, I'm trying to think, did I put one in this album? Well, this one I added a tag in it, but you could see like here I added the tag in it. But I have another one, and I don't know if I already sent it off, where I actually put, and I'm supposed to send this off. I think I made the tag. Let me see if I can grab it. Hold on one second. Is this? Yeah, I think, well, here's one that I actually did. I think that, yeah, see here, this one was, I just made the envelope by itself and decorated it up. But this is what I'm talking about. Just make a card. You can always stamp on it if you want, and then round your corners. And now you have room for a photo. You could actually put a photo here, photos inside, journaling on the back, or however. And then it slides right inside. Now, the way I shut it is I use these leaves that are actually right here. That's what I use to close it. So that's how it stays closed. Send it to Sandy if you don't like it. Okay. So now I'm going to glue this on. Sandy, you're so cute. Don't you hate though when you mess up like that and then you're like, oh, I didn't want to do that. One time I put the wrong lids on the Tim Holtz things. I hate when I do that too. And yeah, addresses in Helmar files. Okay. Oh my gosh, okay, that one. I'm going to open a new 450. Because that one, I think I'm down to my last little bit. Okay, so on this one, I just put a little bit. And hopefully I don't put this upside down. And then just a little bit. And I'm going to close this. I think with my last 450, I don't know if it's the altitude here, but I was leaving it open and it was bubbling. So then I started putting it upside down in the glass, and then it wouldn't. So I just want to glue this on the little pocket, and to make this, just this one side done, I'm going to use a Prima flower. It's just the Prima Pack flower. And I'm going to glue that on there with 450, maybe the one that's open. Oh, come on. Sorry, you guys. I think I'm going to end up putting this one upside down because I don't want to waste any of it. Ah! Okay. So, and then I'm just going to glue the flower, and that will complete this back page. And I'm just putting my finger underneath it because the glue, there's a little hole on the back of the envelope, and so it'll go through, and I don't want it to stick on this. So now I'm going to work backwards. So now for this page, all I need to do is add two buttons to that. And I think, and these are actually, do I have 2 cream in there? Let's see. Thought I picked a couple cream buttons. I guess I can use white. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to use 2 buttons. There we go. So I'm going to just put 2 buttons on this. And I'm just going to add a ball of glue to the back, and that's the 450. And actually, it just went all over me. I try to be careful, but when I'm kind of working far. I should move the camera a bit. Okay. So there's that one. And then just again, if you leave that open, it'll actually bubble it up for you so you have a little ball on the end. But I went ahead and closed it. So now there's the 2 buttons. And for the tags, all I did was cut some just scrap pieces of paper. And I think I actually wrote the tags, like they're 2.5 by 2.5. I did two of those. I did a 3-inch by 2 1/4. I did 2 of those. I did a 3 by 2 3/4, one of that one, and 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. And all I did was use the corner. Let's see if I can find it. Where to go? The corner rounder, and just do your corners. So we all have done that. So I figured I didn't need to show that, but those would be the sizes if you were going to make tags to go inside for the pockets. And so kind of like I did here, and then add your little bows and some buttons, and so you'll have 2 tags for there. And then the tags for the inside, I used a Civics die because these fit perfect. I mean, just perfect. And I added a button to that one. So this page is done. So both sides of the last page are completed. That's super easy. This page is done. We don't have to do anything. This page, all I have to do is add a feather to that. And then I'm going to add some flowers, and I might just use that one. And I like to add just some handmade, thank you, flowers, at least one to my albums, because then it just shows, something that you've actually, made by hand. I'll usually put one in an album, at least one, sometimes more, but it just depends. And so now I'm just going to glue these on. This one will be a little bit different than the other one because it won't have the same flowers. And these handmade flowers, I want to do a class on it. These were the ones we didn't get to do my last class because there wasn't enough time. And then I'll just add one more. Usually I do them in 3s, but these are bigger flowers, so I'll just do the 2. So now this page is done. So we're done. We've done the 2. They really do not take that long. Adding three flowers on here, and that's pretty much it. So make sure nothing's there. Okay, and so I picked a yellow, and then I think I picked a blue. And then I wanted one pink, and I'm just snipping off the little stems. And so you just add those, and I'm using, again, I'm using the 450 for this. And just putting a little bit. Whoa. I didn't open this one. I was trying to use the what I had that came out. And whoops, add a little more. Come on. There we go. And so you just add the little flowers and leave room. And on that page, what I made was, and I took just stamps and stamped with the Distressed Tim Holtz inks and little sentiments, and then you add buttons to the top, and what that does is it's going to hold them so they're not going to go through. See? And you just pick any buttons. I think for this album I picked, thank you, I picked pink ones. Or you can even put a flower if you wanted, like one of these little flowers. You could always do that, but I thought the buttons would be kind of cute. Well, let's make sure that didn't get through. Okay, so that page, whoops, is done. And hopefully, let me hold those down. I just want to make sure. Thank you, Sandy. Yeah, I like making the tags and having the little what do you call them? Like the little bands. And then so you don't have stuff sliding through it. Just makes it easier. Hopefully those are okay. So on this one, I was going to use, I'm trying to think what page goes with that one. I think it's, okay, wait. So it's that, those are the back, and this is the front. So that's the way it's going to go. I'm trying to think if I want to use, it could use a butterfly. I think I might have a pink one too. Oh, I didn't bring it. On this page, what I did, whoops, I'm putting it in front of it. Sorry, you guys, I was trying to put it in front of the laptop because I'm used to that camera. Oh my goodness. So, I put a flower on this flap. And what we're going to do is add the bow. The bow's going to be like the piece that holds the flap. And so let's go ahead and do that. And I've already made up a bow to add. And so I don't even know if I'm going to use, I don't know if the blue, I guess it coordinates. Okay, I might just use that. So kind of hold, you kind of figure where you want it and how it's going to hold. And so that's how I do it. And so I'm going to glue it right there. And on that one, I'm definitely using the 450. Okay, and I didn't make a charm, and I probably won't. And if you get a little extra glue, because I did put quite a bit on this one. Bring that up. Ah, sorry you guys. Okay. So I'm just going to hold that there. There we go. I don't want to close that until it's fully dried. But I think I'm just going to add a flower to this one. I'm not sure. I might just leave it until but I wanted to add one of the butterflies. I don't know if I have. I didn't bring another one over here. Maybe I'll put a little rose. Oh. So I wanted to hold that down. I did put quite a bit of glue on there, but I think most of it came off on me. I'm a messy crafter. Yeah, my hands have glue like all over them. And I have a wet rag that I use, but I think because I'm doing, you know, when you're doing a video or a class, you kind of forget. Yeah. I guess that's how we know we've crafted, huh? So I guess I could put a flower or a button. So I'm not sure which one. And then I think on the corner, because you could put the picture, and I won't glue the whole thing down. I just want to make sure that's dry. Okay. So do you guys like the blue on there? Because this is the page it'll be coordinating with. I think I'll do the blue, huh? Ah, and I'm using 450 on that, and I need to close that. I keep forgetting because I have it standing up. It should be upside down. But if you like the pink better, then go for it. Yeah, I just glued it on. So I guess that just was, it's done. It's got pink. See, there's pink on the, if you could see that. There we go. There's pink on the little pearls. So, flower or button, you guys? What do you think? Cute with the button? So is it button? Yep. Okay. So we're going to add the button. $4.50 on the button. Move that because I don't want to get glue on there. And again, see the glue. Ah! Okay. I'll let that set. You could always have a charm hanging or something on this page. So we'll move button. Oh, good. Trudy. Oh no! Oh, the time difference. I'm sorry. Both. Welcome. Okay. So on this one, I am recording. Thank you, Trudy. I think last time we had everybody. You know, a lot of times the time, you know, how it's different everywhere. I think sometimes we get confused. I do the same thing. But I did record, so we're doing the mini toilet paper album is what I'm working on, and this is what the completed one looks like. So I showed how I did like the different pockets and stuff. But welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna let this one dry, and so now I'm moved on to the band, and again I'm gonna use a feather on that one. Thank you. And we need a bow. Let's see. I guess I'm gonna make a bow. So again, I'm gonna use, this is pink sateen with a gold edge. And this bow I want it bigger because I'm gonna add a flower to the center. And so I just do my loops and my wire. And then pull those up and then twist. Whoops. And then I'll just snip these. I have to be careful. I get these all over the floor, and I don't think that'd be nice to step on those. So there's my bow, and I'll cut my end. Okay, so the bow, I wanted the bow to go over the feather, and then add, I think I'm going to add a brighter pink. Should add a blue actually, but I don't think I have a blue over here. Oh yeah, I do. That one's small. I think I need a bigger flower. Yeah. Okay, so on this one I'm going to use the 450 just to glue, and I'm just adding, and then I'm going to close that up. And now I'm going to put the feather. And if you're worried about getting glue on, just go ahead and set a piece of paper. You can put a piece of paper under just to make sure. But I got it over enough to the edge where I had glued it, so I'm fine on that. And then glue your bow and then your flower. These are super fun and easy to make, you guys. They're super fast too. I mean, if you grab all your paper and have everything cut and ready to go, and then just grab a ton of embellishments like your buttons and your flowers and your ribbon and everything, you can do one of these like seriously within an hour. Okay, so that page is done. Cut all your tags, get everything ready, and then when you go to put it together, it won't take too long. So for this is our front page, and I don't even know what I'm doing on the front page, because on this one, I think I'm going to use a flower. I think I'll go with the same. This one I did, but I don't have another felt flower, and I didn't cut any, and this one was sent to me a long time ago. But I think I'll just go ahead and do the flowers that I have and some ribbon, and we'll do that maybe. Well, let's see, this one, I might have that. I don't know if I used, I have that one. There's that one. I might have three different ones. I'll just use 3 different sizes. So I have those, and then on the ribbon, what I did was I took the pink ribbon, if you could see that, and I just made loops. Whoops. And so I'm just doing, you can do as many as you want. On that one, I think I did like probably 6. But I think I'm going to do 5 on this one. Okay, what did I do? I think I dropped, oh wait, no I didn't. I put my wire behind me. Okay, so what you can do is if you're going to loop, you can just make your loops and then use the wire. I did this on one of my pages. Actually, on a couple of them, I think I've done it. But you want to just wire the bottom so it holds them. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm going to twist it enough because I want to make sure this is tight and it's going to hold. Oops. But I don't have a bigger flower. I should have grabbed one. I don't know if I should. Let's see. So I wanted to make that to go right here because this is the front. You know what? I think I'm going to grab really quick. Hold on, you guys. Sorry. I want to grab a flat flower if I have one. I should have done that earlier. Here I thought I was all prepped. Ah, there's one. Let's see. Can we grab another unglow one? I like that I have the top. Okay. And maybe we'll add a little feather. Let's see. I don't know which one I'm going to use. Sorry, you guys. So you can just layer the flowers, but I'm going to add the ribbon, and I don't think I'm going to add a feather. I was thinking I might want to add a feather. So I'm just going to add the glue, the 450 to the back of the ribbon too. And set that down for a moment so I can close that. I think I'm putting that one in the jar. Okay. And then I'm just going to hold that down for a moment and hope that my fingers don't stick to it. Oh. Don't you hate that when you're making something and you're pushing down and your hands stick to the ribbon? Or let that set for a minute. And then I'm just going to layer the flour. I want to be able to cover part of that up. And so I'm just adding a little bit of glue. The 450 again I'm using for the embellishments. I used a premium for the paper and oops. And so I just did the little flower like that because I want to cover that up. Part of it anyways. And hopefully that's dry. Do you guys have any questions so far? I guess I should ask that, huh? I forget. When I watch everybody else do their classes, it's like it comes natural. And I don't know. I know we're all nervous when we do them, but you always think, gosh, they're not nervous. Here I get nervous. Okay. And then I just want to hold that down until it sets. If you could see that, hopefully. And once I put the flowers on, and I think I'm going to add a bow here, then I'll go and punch the holes. I guess we could have punched them first. It probably would have been easier, but I want to let that dry really well. And I'm smashing my poor flower. Ah! And then we'll just add another one. And one more. Tags are pretty easy. You add those last, but I did cut them out. I don't need to do the tags, do I? Thank you. And then you could always add, I love ribbon, so I like to add tons of ribbon to my albums. So I'm just going to make another bow. And this one I think I'm going to do a 3-loop. Oops. And I've got glue. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, you'll be able to watch it. I am recording. I know I always worry that I'm going to forget to record, but I never do. Or I haven't. Anyways, I've done two live classes and I haven't forgotten. Hopefully I don't. Okay, so here I have another bow, and I'm adding this one. I want that one right there. Oops. If you're using your wire, and I don't want to do it on my mat, but I'll take this plate and show. Sometimes a little end sticks up. And I just push it down, and that way it's flat, the wire on the back. If you're using a wire to tie your bow. And so I want to add that one right there. Whoops. Okay, where'd my chat go? Hold on one second. There we go. Okay. Thought I lost it for a moment. I was like, wait a minute. So add the bow. And then the other little thing that I want to add, I think I put in here. You can add butterflies. I have one. It's kind of a clear one, but I'm going to use a flower center, right, like that. And I'm going to put that in the center of my bow. And so, but I do have a little butterfly pulled. I think that can go on another page, actually. It's just a, whoops. Okay, so on this, I just want to get that to hold down. And that's probably good. And now I'll add the little flower center to my bow. And I think I didn't hold that down, it just moved. I didn't hold it down long enough. Ah! Sorry, you guys. Let's see if I can get that. Thank you. They are fun to make. You have to save your toilet paper rolls. I tell the kids, I'm like, save the toilet paper rolls. Even if they leave them on the counter for me, when I walk by the bathrooms, I just grab them. Because I'll save them in mine, and then when I come down here, because I have to come down like 3 flights, I do. And so I take the rolls from my bathroom, my daughter's bathroom upstairs, and then my son's bathroom here. And I have this bag right here. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but they're in a Bath and Body Works bag. So, I mean, I just keep a ton of them, and I had a bunch prepped too for the class, so you know I have plenty. It is funny, huh? Toilet paper rolls. Who would have ever thought to use toilet paper rolls for a mini album? Yeah, I would have never thought. And they're super fun to make though. So I'm hoping that's going to stay. So this is our front page. So we have the front page. Okay, let's lift this up a little bit. So we have the front page and then the back page. And then the next page is our flap page, which we have right here. And hopefully my bow, I'm just worried about this. Let me just make sure. I like to let them set for a few. And then the next page after the flap page is the pocket. Whoops, I can do that. Pocket page. And then the last page. So now what I want to do is I want to punch a hole. Now you could use, thank you Sandy, you can use a ring. I'm using ribbon. That's what I seem to always use. Yeah, on this one here, I'll show you really quick. I did use a really big ring. Oops. Okay. If you can see this ring, I don't even know how big. This is a big, big ring, if you can see. I added ribbon to it, so it's kind of hard. There you go. This ring's pretty big. I mean, it measures, so if you wanted to use a ring for this, you could bind them if you wanted. This ring measures about 2 1/4 across. It's pretty big, but this was a mini I did, and here's the rings holding it. So I just kind of wanted to show you, we're going to use ribbon to tie ours. Thank you. Like I did here on this one, this poor album. So I run the ribbon through and then make a big, big bow. Whoops, I can't even get that in frame. Let's see if I can back up. There we go. Where's the picture there? Can you guys see it? It's hard for me to see it. Shoot. What's up with that? There we go. I'm new at this camera. Okay, so I used the big bow and the wide ribbon. I think that's the 1 inch. Let me look really quick. This one, ooh, this one's 7/8 of an inch. So that's what I'm going to be using to tie this. So let's go back down. And so now I want to punch the corners on here. And I'm using the bigger hole punch. Yes, you can see. Thanks. I'm glad, because I was wondering, I'm going, wait a minute, I can't see it. So I just punch in the corner, if you could see. And so there's that one. Open the flap. That's the second page. And where's the, there it is. Now you don't have to have these perfect because you're running ribbon through them. I guess if you were going to do the loop, you know, the oh my goodness, the ring, sorry, then you would probably want to have them more, you know, close together, you know, matching up. Okay, this one we're going to punch the corner right there. And our last page. Okay. And now I want to run my ribbon through and to tie this all together. So let me move some of my mess. I had to take a drink. I'm getting so dry. Oh my gosh, when we had that fire on this west mountain, it was so bad that my allergies were acting up so bad, and you were dry all the time. So now I just run them through, starting with the back one. Let's open the flap. It's easier when you open that up and then close it. Okay. And the last little guy here. Come on. I can grab the ribbon. Okay. So I got 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Or I have. Okay. I have such bad English. No. Okay. So now I'll run it through, you know, quite a bit. I don't even know what that's hanging. I mean, it's really your preference, however you want it. I did them like 7 inches on each side and just cut those. So now I'm going to use the same sateen. This is the pink sateen, and I'm going to make a big bow. So I want my bow pretty big. I don't know if you can see that. And I think I'm going to do 3 loops on this one. Told you I use a lot of ribbon. I go through it. I think a lot of people think I hoard ribbon, but I don't. Really, I don't. Okay, and then I'm going to use, again, my favorite, some... Thank you! I love making bows. Now I'm going to use the wire again, and it's the same thing. I find this to be the easiest for doing my bows. I can do them really quick with the wire. And just snip those off. So now we have the bow, and now we'll just tie this. I mean, these are pretty quick for doing a class that would, you know, take so much longer to do a class and you know, than it would if you're doing this on your own. And then just tie your bow. And then I'll double knot it because I want to make sure it stays and it doesn't come undone. And there you have And there you have your mini. Whoops. So, do you guys have any questions? I'll bring the camera up. Can you? Whoops. Okay, let me click no. Okay, so there you guys have it. And I'm Cheryl, just to let you know, for the ones that don't know me. So do you guys have any questions at all on what we did today and the glues that we used? Thank you. These are so easy. I mean, seriously. And then you add all your tags. You guys can add your tags and the ones for the ends, you know, like I did here. I have them pre-cut, but you guys don't want me to do those, do you? I mean, the tags are easy. You know, like I said, I had the measurements on the tags. They're 2.5 by 2.5. You do 2 of those. You can make up your own sizes on them. But if you want like 3 inches by 2.25 inches, I did one of those, or 3 by 2.25, I did 2, and then 3 by 2 3/4, I did 1, and then I did 1 2 3/4 by 2 1/4 inch, and then just corner them and distress them. I used the antique linen on that, and then I just stamped them. I think I used Our Daily Bread stamps on the ones that are in the album, but you can use whatever you want and then just corner them. They're so easy to do, and you'll have the tags for all your pockets and stuff. And then the tags that I used are the tags. These little tags, they're big enough. These came from a Sizzix die that I have, and they fit in these perfect. I mean, and you can put pictures on them. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put pictures of my kids on the front and the back, and just they'll slide right in there. And then put a button or ribbon. And so I just cut 4. You could probably fit 2 in each pocket. If you really wanted a lot of pictures in this little mini, you can fit 2 tags in each one, and then all the tags like I did here. So like on the front page, I'll show you, let me move this. Okay, so like on this front page, you have a tag. You can put another one if you want. And then the next page, I just put 1 tag. And this page, you have a place for your photo here, and photo here. So that's the flap page. And then this next page, whoops, we have 2 tags. And your next page, there's a little tag in the pocket. Forgot to tell you about that. Little tag, he goes in here. And you'll put a photo here. And my light, I think, is glaring. Sorry. And then this page, I did 2 more tags. There's so much room. And you put photos on the backs or the front. And then your back page with, whoops, the little envelope, you put a folded, like a little mini card. And you can fit 3 to 4 pictures, in there too. And then you've got all the tags that'll go inside. So it may be a mini toilet paper album, but you can put a lot of pictures in it. And I used the Helmar's Premium Craft glue, and 450. So the premium, we put all the paper and stuff, and then the 450 was for the embellishments. But you can use the premium for everything. So do you guys have any questions on my mini? Whoops. I don't want to do again. No questions? I'm going to stop record. Should I stop recording? Probably, huh? Not, thank you, Sandy. Thank you guys for joining me today. I think I am getting not so nervous. I think as the classes go by. Trudy, thanks for joining, hun. And you have a nice night. Thank you all for joining my class tonight. Do you guys want to see a sneak peek? I'm going to stop recording of what our for the next class is going to be. Love you too, hun. Thanks for coming. Do you guys want a sneak peek? Okay, so the next class that I'm going to, let me stop